Sudbury Wolves are very proud to select with the 9th overall pick from the Mississauga Senators, Caden Taylor.
Caden was a guy that we had our eye on the year before, right? He played up on that JRC team and had that team had a lot of success, and you could see him. He wasn't an undersized guy as an underage. He was a big guy, skated real well, and then when he moved over to the Senators, and every time you go watch that team, they had success. Like all year, they managed to find success, and obviously Cato. And he was, a big piece for that team, and the amount of goals that he was able to score for them and the type of goals he was able to score. I mean, he shoots the puck already like a pro. Like he's, in the years I've been back to the OHL, he's definitely, I've put him up on one hand anyways, as some of the guys that have the hardest shot at that age. And, his ability to find the net, it's not just shooting it hard, it's shooting it accurate. So he's able to do both of those things, and he skates real well for a big guy. And after you talk to him and get to know him, he's just such a good young guy to talk to, and he's so willing and wanting to sort of get started and get going. And he's a real hardworking young guy. So we're real excited that we were able to get him at 9.
Sudbury Wolves are pleased to select from the Barrie Colts, Nolan Jackson.
Well, he checks a lot of boxes for you when you're looking for a young defenseman. He skates so well. He's a real powerful skater. He's a leader. He was a captain of that hockey team. You could see it, and his compete level. Nolan's one of those guys that every time you go and watch that Barrie team, you noticed him. It wasn't like sometimes when you watch these young guys, they have a little bit of ups and downs. He was one of those guys that was continuously competitive. Every game you saw them, he didn't leave the arena wondering if he showed up. He shows up every game, every night. Real good young guy. Comes from a great family. We had a little bit of intel on the family because they were close with a previous player of ours, Isaac Phillips, and somebody that can kind of come in and he was so good for us. But his compete, his leadership, his skating, those are all things that are going to translate really, really well to our league.
Sudbury Wolves are very proud to select from the Sioux Junior Greyhounds, Hudson Chitoroni.
Well, Hudson had a great year. He's one of these guys, a very, very intelligent hockey player, and maybe a little under the radar for some teams, but we were able to see him a lot. We've got Denny Lambert right up there in the Sioux for us, so we got a lot of exposure on him. Obviously, we know the family. His dad was a captain here. Extreme. If anybody knows the Chitoroni name, the Chitoroni family, they're very competitive. Very athletic, and so we have a real good history with that. But all that aside, for us, he was a guy that we really target. He could score goals, he can play, he competes, he wins pucks. Like when he's going in the corner, he wants the puck. You know what I mean? So he's a battler, really high on this guy. But Hudson is when you meet him, he's so focused, so dedicated. He's going to be a player. And we look forward to the next generation of Chitoronis here in Sudbury. Very, very competitive. And we, when we would talk to Lucky, you talk to other coaches. Lindsay came in and coached that team to a championship, and he's one of those guys that other coaches point out. You know what I mean? He shows up every game, and his compete level is extremely high. He's. If this guy's, I think he's going to continue to grow. His parents are big, but if he's already 6'1", 6'2", I don't think he's available in the 4th round. If you've watched him in the last couple of years, he competes like the way we like Wolves to compete. We have a forward we brought in last year, Nathan Villeneuve, who's got a real high compete level. This guy is like that on the back end, and as his body sort of comes, and continues to grow, then I think he's going to be a real force, and he's going to be a real hard guy to play against. And so to be able to come out of that draft with both Caden and Jaden and the chemistry they had, and when you'd watch them work the power play and stuff, they work really well together. So really, in our scouting notes, when we're talking to other coaches and you hear the word animal, the way he competes, that's something that is unique and probably accurate. Well, Bjorn, we watched him, closely all year. We do have a scout down in the Chicago area, and then where he really sort of jumped out to me was at the national development team. I thought he had an outstanding camp. To be honest, I thought he was going to be one of the guys there. And and for whatever reason, he was left off that team. But we really believe in this guy. He's got quick. He attacks pucks. He's quick. He shows a lot of real good signs for a young goaltender. And we think the sky's the limit for him. And we were able to be able to pick him in the 5th round. I think that's everything right now, right? They're all 16 years old except for the U18 picks, but none of them are going to the NHL next year. So the development path is really critical for them. we're planning and hoping to be a really good hockey team this year. We've got a lot of guys returning to our lineup. We haven't graduated a lot of guys, but there's an opportunity for these guys to come in and make a real impression with the coaching staff, and over the next 12 to 18 months, be able to work their way into our lineup, and then that's how it starts for all these young guys. So we're excited with the draft. We feel that we had a good draft. I'm sure 19 other teams are going to tell you the same thing, but we're only worried about one team, and that's the Sudbury Wolves, and we think we had a really good draft.